start the session just after the YouTube. Good evening, everyone. This is Veer Maheshwar, Charitable Trust Latur MS India, organizing daily international webinar series. And in this series, we are receiving knowledge from speakers on every day on different topics. Today, we welcome Swathi P R ma'am, who is Assistant Professor GIBS Business School from Bangalore, and her topic is Basics of Mendeley Usage. This Mendeley app or the software is used in the research, so she will give how effectively can be Mendeley used in our research. I welcome you, ma'am, from my organization and from all the participants, and I request you can start your speech now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful opportunity. So I hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, so good evening, everyone. I'm Swathi, and as sir rightly introduced, today's session is about how we can use Mendeley for managing references. Okay, so today, researchers or most academicians are writing a lot of papers. They're doing dissertation, theses, they're doing review articles, and we need to cite sources correctly. And managing hundreds of references manually can become a little difficult and can be time consuming. So, Mendeley is a software which simplifies this entire process of how we can cite while we are writing a research paper, how we can provide for references at the end of it. So, that is the idea with which Mendeley was introduced. And it is a free reference management software. It was developed by Elsevier, and anybody can create an account of their own on Mendeley. They can log in and they'll be able to use it for any research work that they do. It also helps people to collect research papers even when they're browsing online. They can organize their references. Like, let's say you are doing research related to one topic, with one of your colleague, and another topic with somebody else. You might have a lot of downloads, a lot of researches that you have together. On Mendeley, you have an option to organize these references, group them together, put them under different heads, and even sometimes, let's say two people are working on collecting resources together, they can create a shared platform wherein they can update. Like I can also upload whatever papers I found, and my colleague or my peer who's working with me can also do the same. It also helps with generating citations automatically. So whichever style of citation you want to give, you can use Mendeley to generate that same style of citation as per your requirement. And by just selecting the paper is automatically cited. That is the advantage of having Mendeley again. Even bibliographies or what references we write in the end. Let's say while doing the paper, you make multiple corrections. Okay, and it's very likely that sometimes you might include additional, references or additional papers, and sometimes you might remove what is already, what you might have already used earlier. So now at the end, when you're compiling your references, it is possible that there could be certain references which could be wrongly added or missed out. But when we use Mendeley, the advantage is bibliographies are auto-generated. Now, because they're auto-generated, there is no scope for us to miss out on any of these references. That is another great advantage of using Mendeley. And sometimes when we type references manually, or let's say type citations manually, the required style of format, for each journal could be different. And let's say when you did the research, you targeted to publish in a particular journal, but later when you wanted to actually make a publication, You might have felt that your research was more suitable to another domain or to another journal's requirement. So, in that case, changing the references manually can be extremely difficult and time consuming. While if you actually use the Mendeley, you will be able to just change the style and automatically your citations and the references will show accordingly. So let's say you have a thesis with about 300 references that you have to give. So without a software, you'll have to remember every source. You'll have to format the references manually. And if you are publishing for a paper, I mean, if you're doing a part publication for a paper, you'll have to change the citation styles one by one. And you'll have to update the numbering if the references change accordingly. So this whole process can be very tedious and it's prone to errors. But a reference management software can save a lot of time and it can ensure that you have consistency in your entire citation practice. Some of the greatest advantages why Mendeley became very popular is majorly because it is free to use, first thing. So it is accessible to everybody because of the nature that it is freely available. Second, it has a very easy interface. That means as we today's session, I'll show you how you can download the app and how you can use it. So when you start using the application, you'll find that it is very easy and user-friendly interface is provided by the software. It also supports thousands of citation styles. Yes, I will show it to you practically. I'll just give me a minute. I have a basic introduction and then I will show you how we can use the applications. So we can use it for thousands of citation styles. And let's say you've downloaded the same paper twice and you have it on your references list. It will be able to detect duplicates. It will be able to help you to organize folders, and even it has a Microsoft Word integration. So on Microsoft Word, you can see that there is an option for you to file citations automatically. So that is the major reason why it is so popular and usable. So I'll just move on to sharing my screen and show you how we can download, what we can do with the Mendeley site. Please give me a moment as I just share my screen. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you for the confirmation. So on Google, you can just go on to type Mendeley and you will see an official homepage of Mendeley website popping up. So when you click on Mendeley, there is an option wherein you can get Mendeley for web, you can download it, you can use different aspects or how you can use it. There are several options. Here itself, you have an option on the Google search itself saying download Mendeley. You can click on that. Now Mendeley comes in three forms. The first is a Mendeley reference manager. That is the major application that we are going to be using. Second is you have something called as a Mendeley web importer. Now web importer simply means that you have an extension which is added to your Microsoft Edge or to the Chrome, to any browser that you're using, you can add a web extension so that it can detect any PDF files, any research papers, and you can auto add it to your system. And the third is Mendeley site. Mendeley site simply means that on Word, when I'm typing something, I can automatically include my citations. So let's go on to download. You just have to click on download now, and you'll see that there's a pop-up showing you the download. Since it takes a while to download, I've already downloaded the file. I think it's not visible. Just a second. I'll reshare my screen. Yes, okay. So I've just reshared my screen. Yeah, so when you click on download, you will see that the file starts getting downloaded. It's about 300 MB. And once it is downloaded, you can go and check it on the download section. You will get an application like this for you to run. If you click on the application, if you click on the application, it'll give you a pop-up asking you to install the app. Mine is already installed, so I will not be doing it again, but this is how it will look more or less like. I'm just giving you an overview. You can press on the install button and you'll see that the app is being installed. So once the application is installed, you will find it on your apps list anywhere on Windows. You can look for, you can type out for Mendeley and you'll be able to access it. When you open Mendeley, it will ask you for a login, particularly telling you that it is required that you create an account and log in. I have already logged in on my profile. So this is how the Outlook will look like once you have entered the profile. You have an option to add references. You can check what was recently added. You can read your references through this application itself. You can mark references as favorites. You can even add your own publications and keep it. You can do a lot of things using Mendeley by itself. Now, let us say I want to download a particular paper and use it on Mendeley. So let's just go to Scopus and let's say on on Scopus itself, if I want to download any particular paper, I can just look up for some paper which is relevant to whatever I am searching, and yeah, let's just download some paper. You can actually browse through, read the paper, see if it is relevant, and then decide. So let's say I'm downloading a particular paper and I want to cite it. So I'll just look for the paper accordingly. Okay, or you can even, I'll just show it you on ResearchGate. Let's say I'm doing a paper on investment decisions. Investment decisions. Please give me a second while we can proceed. Yeah. So if I want to download this particular paper, I can just open it and click on download full text. So let's say I have downloaded a particular paper. It's here on my downloads list. I can simply drag and drop it on the Mendeley, and it will be added as one of my references on the Mendeley application. I think you can see in the corner over here, it is saying one file being uploaded and the one file reference is generated. So I have this one file added to my list of references now. Similarly, I can do that for another let's say I'll do another 2-3 downloads like this, wherein I want to just keep a track of all my references. Please give me a moment while I'm able to download it. You can look up for anything, even online. You can just say, research papers on investment decisions, and if I'm looking for a PDF, so I'm just trying to get some research papers and taking it from different sources, only with the intention of showing it how to cite. You can read up and see the relevance before you actually make the downloads. Yeah. I've downloaded 3 papers in total right now. So, yeah. I can just simply add all of those papers onto my reference manager. Like I can take all of it, just drag and drop it onto this platform. If you noticed, I had already added the first paper and now I'm adding it again. That means there are 2 times the same paper has been uploaded in my profile. So sometimes what happens when you make downloads, when you're referring to research papers, it's possible that you could have, put the same paper twice. There's a possibility of duplication. If you go on to duplicates, it will show you where the duplicates were added. You can delete one set of duplicates. You can say, okay, you can see which is authentic or something, and you can take an action and say, move this reference to trash or keep that reference. So once you delete one of the files, the other file automatically is treated as original. So duplicate set is resolved. That's how duplicates are checked. Now let's say I want to group these. I don't want to have, I'm doing 2 papers and 2 references belong to one paper, another 2 references belong to another paper. Then I'm going to say paper 1. Under this paper 1, I'm going to select whichever references I should move to paper 1, and I can say drag and drop, and over here under paper 1 you'll see that those 2 references are reflecting. Similarly, I can say paper 2, and over there again go to all references. First 2 I had taken for paper 1. Let's say I'm taking the next 2 for paper 2. I can just select them and drag it, drop under paper 2. Alternatively, you can even right click, you can say copy and everything, but this is more convenient for you to sort them. So all references will include everything. But if I go to paper 1, I just have whatever references I wanted it to be relevant to paper 1. Paper 2, again, whatever should have been relevant to paper 2. Now, sometimes you might not have the system detect everything on its own. For example, if you notice for this particular paper, the authors and the year is not detected. In such a case, you'll have to manually add them. How do you add them? You can click, you can, edit any information which you see over here. You can use the, you can use the paper and you can take whatever information, add them here, and it'll get auto updated once you make the changes. In case anything you find is wrong, even that can be edited and added over here. Even the abstract is extracted. If any URLs are provided, everything is extracted for you. You can even read the papers directly from here. So if you just click on the paper on the PDF, you'll notice that the paper is visible for you to read accordingly. So that is how basic uploading and adding of files happens, how you can make different collections. So if you're working on 10 different papers, you can have up to 10 different collections over here. You can even create something called as groups. Now, what is a group? A group is basically if I am doing a research paper with another person, then I'll create a group. I'm adding 2 papers, the other person could be adding another 2 papers. So everything will reflect in the same place, and once you're online you'll be able to have like a synchronized database that has all your references held. I'm not creating a group now because I'll have to send like an invite, but you can try it with your peers and you can check how it works. So that is something. I can even mark something as favorites. Like let's say I want to mark a particular reference as favorite so that I can come back and read this paper, or I'm trying to, remember that this has a particular reference that I need. So on my favorites, if I have a list, like if I have hundreds of references, instead of searching for this one paper, if I just go to favorites, it's already available there. So I can easily, read back and go back and access it as and when I need it. So that is when you mark it star, any paper which is marked star is treated as a favorites that is added currently. So that is about how the app reference manager app is used. You even have an option to export all files. Let's say you've downloaded bulk files, you can export them. You can even add references by clicking on add references over here, and you can say import a file, import an entire folder, or get it from some library. And if you click on it, you will get your list of downloads. You can just click on it, and if you say open, it'll show you the reference again. So that's how you can add all references as soon as you have a duplicate. I think you notice over here, because I re-uploaded, it's showing a duplicate. You can just say duplicate actions and move to trash. Once one of it is moved, it's removed. You got it? So that is about the reference manager. Okay, so once you have the reference manager, the second thing that you'll have to learn about is how you can use the next part of it, which is Mendeley cite. That means when you're actually doing research work, how to cite and how to use it on, Word. So again, for Mendeley cite, you can just type Mendeley cite on, on Google, and it'll take you to, it'll take you over here. So you can say get Mendeley site. If you click on it, since you've already downloaded the Mendeley application, you just have to say get it now. And I have already signed in and got it. So where does the Mendeley site reflect? Once you get Mendeley site, there's another way of getting it. Here you have tools option under Mendeley reference manager, tools. Over here, you can say install Mendeley site for Microsoft Word. If you just click on that, it'll help you to get the application too. Once you click on get it now, and if you've logged in, it'll automatically be synced to your Microsoft documents. Any Word file. For example, if I just, let's say, I create a new Word file. Okay, so Word file created newly, and if I open it, I can simply go to references option, and over there is an option called as Mendeley site. Here again you'll have to log in onto your account. I'll just show you how to do that. So once you open Mendeley site, it'll say you can bring your ideas in, you can get started, log in using your the same account that you have. This is my email ID. You can even reach out to me if you need some help. So I'm just logging in with my same, data. You sign in like this. If you don't have an account, you can create an account and you can sign in. Once you've signed in, if you remember, on Mendeley, the reference manager, there were only 4 papers that I've uploaded. Automatically, it's showing me these 4 papers itself over here. There's nothing more, there's nothing less. So these are the 4 papers that I had uploaded. And that's the same thing that's reflecting. If you had like 100 papers which you have uploaded on the reference manager, all the 100 will reflect over here. These are basically all references. Now, same way, if I want to see only references of paper 1, over here under Mendeley site, I can go to references and select paper 1. Paper 1 had only two references. Now you see only 2 references are showing. Similarly, if I do paper 2, it will show me only the other 2 references which I had added. Whatever you've created here, that's the same thing that's reflecting over here in Mendeley site. Now under citation settings, you can decide which style of citations you want. Generally, the APA 7th edition is what is used, and that is why it is automatically the default style. But if you want, you can choose any other style of citation that you would prefer to. So that is something it will give you a preview to. That is the base citation settings that you have. Now let's say you're typing something out of whatever research you're doing, and now I want to cite a paper. Let's say I want to cite this. I can just select it and say insert one citation. And you see it is showing the citation. But because if you remember over here, it didn't have author name, it didn't have year, it just had the title, it didn't have any other information. That is why you see that the citation is not coming correctly. What we can do is you have to make edits over here in place of author name, in place of year, to get the citations correctly. On the other hand, if the citation is already correct, like in this case, once you insert the citation, it will be cited as per the APA style format itself. Without any errors, you get the citation done. Similarly, let's say I want to make another citation. Okay, and I decide to cite this paper too. I'm inserting another citation. I can in fact choose to insert 2 citations together too. Like for example, if I want to cite both of these, I can cite both together and it will show under the same bracket too. Sometimes the same research has been proven by multiple papers, authors. So in such case, you can use this kind of citation process too. So citation is done automatically. Now I can, once I finish my paper, I've written everything, I can get the bibliography too. Bibliography, again under references itself, just go to bibliography and you can say references. There are no sources because, I've taken the Mendeley, the words citation requirement. That's why you're not seeing sources. On the other hand, if you just go here and click on insert bibliography, insert bibliography, and if you say continue, you'll notice whatever was cited using Mendeley, only those citations will reflect automatically. It will give you those citations. Suppose if I don't cite one paper or if I make changes here, like let's say I'm making corrections. If I make some changes here, and if I say, if I refresh or update the bibliography, it will automatically show only what is cited under the references. Everything will not update. Everything will not come by itself. As and when I add an additional citation, it will get updated. I just have to click on update bibliography and it gets updated over here. That's how you use Mendeley site to cite your research papers and to get auto-generated references. This is the second use of Mendeley. Now we have another third tool of Mendeley that we use. As you see, this application is called Mendeley Reference Manager. What we use in Word is called the Mendeley site. And the third one is a Mendeley Web Importer. Now, what is a Mendeley Web Importer? You can just click on this. You will see Mendeley Web Importer will pop up. If you click on Get Mendeley Web Importer for Chrome and you're using a Chrome as your browser, you will notice that it will create an extension for you. What is this extension about? Like for example, let me just show you. Mendeley Web Importer extension has already been added to my to my Chrome application. Now, what is the benefit of it? So, suppose if I'm looking for a paper, research paper on investment decisions, and I choose to read it, okay, like I'm reading it on some open access platform or anywhere, I could just be reading it even before I download it. Okay, so I could open it and yeah, when I'm reading this, it'll give me an option to directly add it on to Mendeley if Mendeley is able to read it. That is the intention of having a web importer. I'll have to first sign in onto the web importer. Let me just quickly sign in onto the web importer. Yeah, so you see, I've already, downloaded this, and that is the reason. As soon as I click on this, it is saying journal article is already added in my library. You see the tick mark here? That is the idea with which it is referring to. Now I can even choose to, let's say, a PDF which I have not downloaded if I'm reading it. So if I'm reading this particular, you know, research work, and if I choose to download it, I can just click on Mendeley and it's checking for the PDF. PDF is available. I can add it onto my library. Either you can directly add it on my library. My library means it's not on any collection, it's just a part of all references. Or particularly, you can say add it to paper one. So now let's say I want to add it to paper one. So I'll tick mark on paper one and I'll say add. So it gets added. You see, adding this option comes here. It's starting to add references now added. You can go back and cross check on Mendeley. If you go to paper one, you will now see 3 references on paper one and not just 2. So even when you're doing your reading on, on Chrome or anywhere, you can automatically, as in when you find it relevant, you'll be able to just directly add it even without downloading it. So this file I've not downloaded, but it's still there on my Mendeley. So that is another thing. You don't have to need a storage space, but it's accessible. Like let's say you're using one laptop in your workplace, another at home, but you want all your references to be integrated, or you're using different systems every day at a workstation, then this becomes very convenient because you don't have to download it and store it on any drive or cloud or any space. You can just directly add it onto the Mendeley application itself. So that is how you use Mendeley Web Importer. Web Importer works with any open access PDF that you have. If it's not open access, if it's closed access, and if you have an organizational login or something, even then, once you're able to read the PDF, you will be able to add it onto Mendeley, web importer space if you're able to read it. So that is the 3 benefits. I mean, the 3 tools, and that's the 3 areas in which Mendeley is right now being used. That's about it. Any questions we can take? Anybody? Would you like me to tell you, answer you on any questions? Anything that you need?
Thank you, ma'am,
Thank you,
for
sir.
your previous speech and useful speech for all, because everyone trying to research, but
Yes,
the
sir.
tedious job of reference management and citation, all these things, bibliography, is actually a tedious job, and
Thank
this
you.
job can be done through this Mendeley desktop.
Yes, sir.
And I request all the participants, they can unmute and discuss with our speaker on today's topic. At the same time, the feedback link is available. Those who are daily joining or new members, they can fill the feedback link so that they can receive their certificates.
Yes. Any questions, anybody? Yes, sir. Please tell me.
Yes, sir. Dr. Swanam Shukla, sir, please.
Good evening, Dr. Betkar sir, and good evening, ma'am. Thank you very much for wonderful presentation and especially for citation and reference. This thing is required, very much required, and Chat GPT and other things, they are giving some wrong references and wrong citation. I think Mendeley
Yes,
will clarify that problem.
yeah, absolutely.
So, what we have, whether my question is, whether that Mendeley collect the references required, for my study. If I will put some few keywords into, I will be giving it to this, and then it will search for my, some papers for me, or I have to search for the paper, and then I will be putting it on the Mendeley, and then they will be giving, whatever the context is there. So, what do you think about this?
Sir, it doesn't do any searching. We have to
Hmm.
do the manual search for papers, and once we have
Ah,
actually found it, only then it can be added onto the reference manager. It only helps with
uh-huh.
citation
And
and
if suppose
Mhm.
Note LM can it will work for showing the references also because it is a time consuming process.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
so whether Note LM will help with this to search some papers and then we will take this to the Mendeley and then little more complex, digital the help we can take.
That's what we cannot. You cannot search papers on Mendeley. Mendeley doesn't help to search any kind of papers. You manually have to search for papers, and if you are able to read any document online, any document that you are able to read as a PDF can be added onto Mendeley. So that is how it works.
Okay, so it requires only PDF, not the other any format. Okay.
No, even other formats are workable, like Word or generally Word and PDF is what is generally accepted. Sometimes, if you are downloading from a library space, then even other formats might be accepted based on what is the nature of the download that you make. Like sometimes, let's say you have downloaded a data sheet and you want that also to be included. You will be able to include it, but again it will not have author details, or it will not have everything that you need to actually cite, like how a paper would traditionally have.
But at least it will give a right citation. That is the best part.
Yes, sir.
That is the great part.
Yeah.
And thank you, madam. Thank you very much for your valuable, presentation today. And here, simultaneously you are showing practically also. So I could download Mendeley directly on my laptop. And now I will start, I begin with Mendeley use. And then hope in also you visit, and then we will have a little more complex discussions.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sir. You have utilized this app, and also you will can try from tomorrow. And today also you have started. Thank you, sir, for valuable discussion with our speaker. I myself using this Mendeley desktop from 2010 when I was started to my research, and still it's very useful and effectively available, also free available. As like Dr. Sir said that it cannot search, and you have said also support that it cannot search, but it can be used for reference manual. Thank you, ma'am. Useful information for all the researcher, and they will definitely try to use this app in future very effectively. In
Thank you,
future
sir.
also, you will be here as a speaker on another topic. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, we will conclude here. Thank you to all participants, those who are here.
I thank everyone for the wonderful feedback, and thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity for me to be able to present to everybody. And I hope it is useful to someone who's attended this session. Thank you.
Yeah. Still, there are 15 members present. Abdul Alim sir, Prashant Pute sir, Uday Pratap Singh sir, Harendra Singh sir, Isai Madhivan ma'am, sir, ma'am, K.L. Deviya sir, Mr. Santosh, Rani Bhagat ma'am, Swathi ma'am, just you, Bandhu ma'am, and Vidya Sri. So all are requested to fill the feedback link so that you can receive your certificates.